Hey, how you doing? This is Kitch, and you are watching me play Factorio. I have hopped on the creative map again. We're not going to be comparing any sushi setups, but I wanted to take a look at the fluid system I'm wanting to implement and just try to get it figured out before we do anything crazy like build anything. So the idea I had was to have a mixed belt coming in that has all of our different fluids on it, and I'm just simulating that with inserters. And what I was doing in the last episode, and this is simplified quite a bit. Thank you, Cornosian. But this is kind of the general idea, and it has a flaw in it, in that it can get backed up with items. And I've played a little bit with it, trying to get priorities and things like that. I don't see any good way to make it 100% guaranteed not to back up. So I don't think this is the way I wanted to go. And I was getting confused in the last episode because I'd looked at Impractical Factorio to see how I did it in there, because we did something similar in that we had the different fluids coming off, and I was using circuits to control them. And I think we need to do more kind of that sort of method, that rather than doing it this way. So let's see. Let's go ahead and pull that out, and let's go ahead and clear these lines out and clear our inventory out, and clear these lines yet again, and we'll rework this a little bit, and maybe get back to some sense of sanity. All right, so the original idea I was messing with before my own mind interrupted me was something like this right here, where these guys are filtering off the specific items, though. So, right, they're just pulling those directly off the bus. So we would have petroleum coming in there, and I guess we could just continue this on down, right? 5. Or 4, I meant. You would pull water, you would pull light oil, and you would finally pull lubricant. Get those cleared off. And that would give us all of our items. It would pull them off the bus, and when they backed up, it would back up here, but we'd still have this flow that can continue on down to the next sushi setup. So we could service more than one sushi setup with this thing. Let's see, we're not getting any water barrels here, and I think what we need to do is set the output priority to right. Nope, left. I'm backwards. Probably on all of these. On all these input ones coming in. This last one right here is going to get garbage stuck in it, so let's set that to a fish filter. And let's just void these out for now. Okay, and if one of those does back up, eventually, we're going to get a backup in between these two splitters, but that's going to cause this line to activate. That'll go down to the next one. Very nice. And when that one backs up, it's going to bypass and go to this lane and come in like that. All right, I think that's more what we need. We need to be pulling off of the main bus here, and not necessarily pulling off a line and then trying to split it. I guess technically we could pull this off and do a split like that, but that doesn't seem reasonable. Okay, so that's part 1. Can we do this in a way that's not nearly as silly? All right, do it like that. And that makes it where those will feed in just fine. And these could completely back up, and that would be just brilliant. All right, but the problem that we have is that when these guys do back up, we don't have any way to control how much input is on this belt. So this whole thing can back up. And if this whole thing backs up, we're back in the exact same situation that we were in before, where these can get nasty. So we are going to want to turn that into a sushi belt, I believe. And we're also going to want to control... what I did in Practical Factorio is I made this belt here like kind of a buffer, and just allowed a number of items to be pulled over here for that to occur. So I think I want to go with that idea. Let's just clear all this stuff out. Nice kind of quick way to go through and just get everything out of there for now. All right, and we've got some stuff in here. Let's go and clear it out, and let's get our belts going back. Should have copied it. And this is all goofiness here, but we can do something about the goofiness later. Okay, so we've got this stretch of belt here, and we want to limit the amount of items that we have on this little piece of belt right here. And I'm rethinking on, do we need to do that? Is that okay? So we're counting the items that come off here. That's on you. You're being added. The problem is that this signal also has everything else in the factory going out to it. Yeah, it's not just what is being read, it's the green signal, which is currently everything, and we don't want that. That's why we need a separate buffer. I'm sorry, I'm figuring this out. I'm getting there. I'm sorry. Okay, let's put you there. And let's get you there. I've been using these substations more and more lately. They're kind of bulky, and I generally don't like to use them, but boy, they are handy at certain times. Okay, so we're gonna need some logic here. We're gonna need a counter. Let's just go ahead and build it, and we'll worry about simplifying things later if it can be. So we're gonna do a regular adder subtractor here. This will be the subtractor. We want to multiply by -1. This one's going to be each input. We are going to, just typical counter, like I typically do. Let's turn those off to get this wired. And that'll be a red wire going into there. Right? Right. Okay, and we're going to want to put some brakes on this guy. Right here, so it doesn't pull anything off of the bus unless the items are at a certain amount. So yeah, let's just make it straightforward at first. Let's say U less than, let's do like 20 starting out. This would be water less than 20. Light oil less than 20. And those less than 20. Okay, that'll be the brake, And then we'll want another one right here. That's going to just read the belt contents. It's not going to be enable disabled. And that is going to go like that. Okay, so that's our brake. That's our belt reader. This is pulsing the input. This was just green though, right? Yeah, that's reading that. Okay, so what we could do is hook up a red wire to these guys. And let's see, that won't reach that far. We'll just power pull it. Feed that into the back of that combinator. So as they get pulled off and sent into the main system, that will get subtracted from that. And I don't think there's a red wire on here. The red wire is on this one. So there's no conflict there, right? No. Okay, that's good. All right, and our counter is at 0. Let's just see, does that work? Okay, yep. And as they get sucked off there, we're requesting more. And the ones that aren't, like lubricant, light oil, water, they are starting to buffer up. Okay, so that's working. Should be working fine. All right, can we... Oh, I'm not making any science. That would probably help. We can actually get this stuff flowing a little bit. Okay, can this be simplified? I think the answer to that is yes. Okay, so this is currently controlled off of the red and green network, which is off of this pole right here. So if we brought the green network down here and the red network down here, there's no reason why this and 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 this can't be the exact same, right? Let's turn this off. And let's take all that stuff out. Okay. Take that green network off. Take that green network off. Take... how's that connected? Oh, it's connected right there. Unconnect those two. and take... Okay, now that is its own network that's currently not doing anything. Actually, let's just take those out. Okay, you're still feeding to the red network and the green network, but it's this network and not this one. All right, so you should be set to lubricant less than 0, those less than 0, those less than 0. And does this need to even be here? No, and that doesn't need to be there either. That just needs to hook up to that. And we also need to get that red network there. And now we've just hooked up that brake directly to this guy right here. And let's see, those don't need to be there either. Those need to be on that green network. They're set to read the belt contents. That'll send back to that green network, and we also want to continue to send it on that red network. And we don't need that counter anymore. All right, so basically what we've done is we just moved the brake up here, so now that we're braking off of the main bus. Now, is that going to work? Okay, yep, that's backing them up there. And they're coming in there instead of buffering there. And now that I'm looking at this... let's see, now take that out. We want you to be fish going the other way. Uh-oh. Got some stuck there. Don't want the counts to be off. Fish, fish, water. And lubricant right there, right? See, simplifying things, getting things down. All right, we're getting light oil down there. Lubricant will only come once in a blue moon. So that should be fine. All right, and we could do that a number of different ways. We could basically make it where it's on the bus. Or, you know, we could do a little bypass thing that goes around and, you know, comes off the main line and kind of goes in and feeds it and then comes right back. Either of those would work. Yeah, I'm kind of liking that better. We do get a problem with items backing up in here, but they're only going to be backed up temporarily until these items are freed. So it's like they're backed up, but they're not backed up permanently. It's more like the little splitter situation we were seeing when we were pushing them off to one side. So yeah, it's not permanent death. Okay, I think I can work with that. Okay, so I was pulling this red line out. Let's see, you are reading the contents, you are pulsing. And the reason I was wanting to do that is to take that up. And These could let through 8 at a time and very quickly. I don't know how fast that happens. I was thinking, you know, can we limit these based on, you know, basically pull an item, put it out on the belt as soon as something actually goes through here. And let's see, I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. Let's just copy. Let's see, that should be the counter, right? Yep. Okay, so we want to read your hand contents. And enable you, disable you. Let's see, which one did I have there? Read hand contents. Light oil. Less than, let's say, our buffer size. Oh, no, we don't have a buffer size anymore. Let's just pick a number. 30. And we want to feed that into this counter and then negate that via that. Okay, same thing. Lube, less than 20. And I should have turned all these off. Petroleum, less than 20. And that is going to be water, less than 20. And I did not set you to read your hand contents, nor you. Okay, and that's all going to be just completely off because we're actually going to want to wrap this around. This is going to be a sushi belt. Just like the others. Let's see, times, plus. So you guys will try to keep 30 items out on this sushi belt, and we could increase that if we wanted to. We probably need to set that up with the same system we set up over there. I think that'll be a lot better. But yeah, those items are going to go through. And as they get pulled off here, it should cue those inserters to actually throw some more out. Oh, I put light oil at 30. Everything else at 20. Okay, go. Go. Make things happen. All right, nothing's using petroleum anymore. What's going on? Are you full? You're full. Why are you guys grabbing chips? Okay, because that's just a miscellaneous factory that can take chips. Okay, what have I done? Can I take stuff from an inserter? No. Oh, I've got myself into quite the little pickle here, eh? All right. I just wanted to grab some petroleum barrels. Okay, we want to take like this whole setup and put that out there. All right, that'll get you guys pulling petroleum barrels. That'll get that flowing. And the petroleum inserter is working. Okay, all that for that. All right, so that I think is a system that I like this idea. I think I like where that is going. It meets all my criteria. I think that I have. One, it's all the barrels on one line. We're limiting the ability for it to back up based on our counting, as well with this crazy contraption right here. This setup, Tech Fusion posted it, but I've seen this before. He had a lot of input priorities on things, and I'm trying to think. Is that going to make a difference? You are backed up currently because we have fluids up in there. I don't think an input priority is going to matter there. Input priority here, but that's not going to make a difference because, yeah. The output priority will catch those there. I mean, maybe putting an input priority to pull these guys out might make sense. I'd have to look back at the blueprint here, or at least what was posted. Let's see. There was input here, I think, and an input here, so it grabs that stuff first. And I'm mixing this up a bit. His was more like the one that was posted was more like this one down here. That it's not daisy chained like that. But I think that system will work. That's a problem. You need to be hooked up to that. And you need to be hooked up to that. That's why we're not using petroleum. No, you're not hooked up to that one. You are hooked up to that one. All right, that's going to get that factory moving again and get our fluids running again. I forgot to hook that back up. All right, that'll take it a while for it to catch back up, but I'm confident that that will end up working in the end. The only thing I'm thinking is what I did in Impractical Factorio was made like a buffer here of 20, 30 barrels, what I was originally doing there. The only advantage that I can see to that is that as soon as a barrel's pulled out, it's pulled out from here. And this signal is going to go all the way back to where the refinery is, and it's going to release a barrel. So however much time it takes for it to get from here to here is going to be the delay. And by buffering it up, keeping that little buffer, we'd have always have a buffer of 20 or 30. I guess we could buffer it here. If it were a problem, we could always just increase the number of these that we wanted. And we'd keep our buffer, but our buffer would be actually out here on the line instead of right here. I think that would work as well. We just have to find a number that works with how far the sushi setup is away from the refinery and how much time it takes for the barrel to make it down to the system. Just thoughts that I had, but I think this is more reliable and a better way to go about handling the fluids. And someone had also asked about the exit barrels. That is going to be something that needs to be done as well. And we're going to need to set up a system where these, of course, come back and get recycled. And actually, what I may do, now that I'm thinking about it, is what if we used, like, the same belt? Filter off, like, those barrels. And we'll just send that off to a void for now, but those will go back into a recycling system. And then just basically take you... See if I can catch this. Ha! Got it. And yeah, just use that exact same line to basically recycle the empty barrels, so they go back into the sushi belt with the rest of the barrels, and that way we don't need our extra empty line that I was planning for the bus. We've completely just removed a bus lane, and that will go back up and go into our barrel recycling system. That will repurpose those and send those out back like that. Full circle. Circle of life. Circle of factory, at least. All right. Thank you for your patience as I try to work this out in my head. Again, any suggestions or anything like that, I am very open to hearing them. But I think this is where I was more going in my head in the last episode, whenever I started, and not quite where I ended up. But thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you in the next episode. Have a good one.